Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ecosystem Aces. I am excited to be joined today by Lee Moore. I'm Chip Rodgers, Chief Partner Officer at WorkSpan. Lee is VP of Google Cloud Consulting and responsible for customer experience at Google. And there's a lot of what that implies. I think both with sort of the full spectrum of starting with from learning to activation and then all the way through the solutions that customers and partners deliver. And gosh, I'm really excited to get started. Lee, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chip. I appreciate it and look forward to the chat. Yeah.
Likewise. So Lee, why don't we start there and tell us all a little bit about what you and your team are up to at Google. I know, gosh, you had a long experience, 30 years at Accenture and
Yeah.
in consulting and now the last maybe 3 years at Google. What's happening these days?
Yeah. So 30-year grounding in an excellent partner of ours now, Accenture, and then I came over to Google, where I get to work with all of our partners, which is really really insightful, and you see what I used to compete with from the other side of the table. It's been quite fun. But yeah, the last 3 years here at Google, I'm part of Google Cloud, and I lead the consulting group that we created here. It's consulting in name, but we're very broad in the services we provide. So I say we help our customers learn, build, operate, and succeed. They're the 4 areas we focus on. Learning is all about really empowering our customers, our developers, to learn how to use Google Cloud's products to their fullest. Everything from C-suite learning all the way down to new graduates looking to build out their skill set. We do the same for partners. So we make sure that partners have a full spectrum of capabilities to learn everything they need to do about Google. So that's the learning piece. The second thing then, obviously customers want to build amazing capabilities and technologies based on Google. We help them to do that, but we work in a very partner first and partner side-by-side model. So for pretty much all of our customers, unless it's really, really niche, we will work with a partner to develop and build out solutions for our customers, and they ultimately put them into production, which takes us to the operate piece. And so we want to make sure our customers are running our platforms efficiently. They're running them in a secure and effective way. So we provide support and resources to help that happen. And we wrap that all up in a customer success wrapper to help our largest customers transform to Google Cloud. So that's what we do. We're based all over the world, across 4 regions, and I'm based here in Chicago myself, but lead this group globally. Very proud of them.
That's amazing, Lee. I actually grew up in Chicago, so I'm very fond of Chicago area, and
So am I for certain months of the year.
yeah, that is true. That's true, and actually not a surprise, having been with Accenture for so long, since there's so much of Accenture is out of Chicago. So
So a great experience.
yeah. Well, so tell us about. I mean, Google is so much involved in just this whole wave of Gen AI. I think maybe we start there. There's so much going on, and Google really leading a lot of that with Gemini and your what you're delivering. How is that, as a partner leader that might be watching and wanting to learn more about how to engage with Google? How do you work with partners? How can partners engage? Tell us a little bit about how that all works within your team.
Well, I think firstly you hit it. So the AI transformation of what's going on is probably the key area for our partners to get engaged in. The growth we see in our customers' usage and ultimately moving into production of our tools in AI is like nothing I've ever seen in the 33-year career you just referenced there. A year ago we were through the learning team, we were teaching C-suite what Gen AI was about, and now we're launching offers to help customers put them into production and productionize these toolings. The partner journey has been really interesting because the technology speed has been like nothing you've ever seen. And so ordinarily we would have a life cycle where maybe it takes 6, 9, 12 months for the partner ecosystem to build up the volume of skills that you need in the market to support it. This wave was just completely different. Within weeks, we had partners committing 150,000 people being trained and skilled up, and within months they've delivered that ecosystem. So we've got amazing partners, big and small, across all the regions around the world that we're working with from a consulting and services perspective to implement our services. We then also have a major ISV partnership where people are building tools using our products as well. So we've got kind of the both sides of that going on, and it's really like something I never could imagine happen. So our role really is to support the partners, help train them up, and then when they're doing their early projects, we put consultants alongside them in a side-by-side manner so that that first project is successful. And if that's successful, the rest just follows. So I really do believe, if I were a partner, that's where I'd be putting my time and money and investment now, because the future is as bright as everyone sees it. And the reason I say that is, in my prior career, where I was more, transforming businesses, you'd be talking to a marketing department or a finance department or a supply chain individual, or maybe the CIO, CTO, etc. And this impacts every single one of those functions. It's like no other technology that we've ever known to impact every single function and every single level of that function at the same time. And so I encourage our customers to really embrace it, try stuff out and experiment, and then ultimately take the value into production, which is what we're seeing, and the partner ecosystem really leaning in well to that that piece. That's kind of one of the cool bits of the job.
That's amazing. I'm not sure how do you that kind of growth and and just like jumping into the market, everyone jumping in at the same time. I'm not sure how you keep it all straight.
One of the cool things about working for Google, and I realized it when I first came over here, I mean, we grew anywhere between 25 and 40% a quarter since I've been here. So you're constantly reinventing. And we have this concept of 10x in Google, a 10x mindset. We try and bring it to our partners and our customers. And the idea is that you're not thinking incrementally, you're thinking step change. And that step change mindset and that we bring is we brought to the Gen AI world as well, and it's paying off dividends. I mean, we have customers now where I'll give you one example with my old company, Best Buy, my old company Accenture, where we're partnering at Best Buy. Everyone in the US here knows Best Buy. It's on every major city. They sell all the cool technology and everything else. But sometimes you have to call them up and sort of ask for support on a product or something like that. And we're helping them together with Accenture kind of completely use Gen AI to transform their customer service. And it's going really well. And the goal ultimately is to help employees more quickly find things, help customers more quickly solve their problems, and real life use case in action together with a partner, with a customer.
It is amazing that you said it earlier that it's the depth and breadth of the transformation is incredible across all lines of business at every level, and I assume that there are, within that sort of matrix of lines of business and and depths into, you probably have the ability to plug partners into every piece of that matrix that may specialize in different parts.
Very much so. You've got because it starts at the C-suite oftentimes, a lot of the partners that typically operate in strategy or business consulting are really relevant in the Gen AI transformation. And obviously many of them have IT components to their businesses now, so they can kind of complete the stack. But at the other end of the spectrum, you may have someone who's building out an LLM. So take I know Ginkgo Bioworks company is building out an LLM for their own use, for their own business. It's really deeply technical work. That maybe requires more specialist partners and even from ourselves, more specialist resources to build it out. So you've got that full spectrum. And I look at it through two lenses. You typically have a traditional enterprise organization that we know the names of that have been around for many years typically, and then you've got this AI startup ecosystem. And they tend to require different levels of support. So, the AI startup is looking to get products into market as fast as they can. They really want to exploit the technology. And so there we may be helping them more on security or architectural ways of working. Whereas, a more traditional enterprise, they have more steady stream processes that they would follow. And oftentimes the partners there are really instrumental in helping them in the change management and the business case, followed by the technical design, followed by the ultimately the implementation. So it depends on the nature of the customer we're talking to, as to which parts of the skills we bring and how we operate with them. That's kind of the main impact. And the one thing I'd say about Google that I think is different to other players here is we're the only people that are truly vertically integrated. So we have first party and third party products at all levels. So whether it's the hardware level and you want to go and buy some really fancy AI chips, and you can go and buy the NVIDIA versions of those, and we have our Google versions. If you are looking to use different models, we have a model garden. So I think last count was north of 130 odd models. Of course, we have our own first party models. You mentioned Gemini, and we obviously use those significantly in all our own products as well as for customers. And then on top of that, we have the services and everything else and the partners we use. So we truly believe that we're the most vertically integrated and the most open AI stack that you can get, and that's a huge opportunity for the partner world. I think because of that, we're open at every level.
Yeah, right. It creates some simplicity, right, for the interconnectedness and how does everything work together, and can I deploy something that my customers, our joint customers, right, can really take advantage of and get value out of.
Yeah, I think the difference in this wave, Chip, is the speed. So I think speed and access to technology is the thing that most of our customers are looking for. Do we have access to the hardware? Do they have the right models? Do they have the right support resources? Do they have the right people to ultimately implement it? And then once they get through that, how do they implement AI centers of excellence, or what organization structures do they need around it? So that whole journey from trying something out to really getting into production, depending on the nature of your organization, is fairly hard work. Given you're transforming every part of the business, or you can. So picking your priorities and choosing it is really where the partners can really help out.
Yeah. So we talked, we're talking a little bit about, the sort of if you think of sort of partner life cycle, right? Co-build, co-market, co-sell, kind of, bringing that full life cycle together. Of course, Gen AI, there's so much building going on. Like it's all building right now, right? It's building and getting to, sort of POCs and seeing how all of this stuff works. How are you thinking of, and there's business beyond just AI as well. How do you think of that life cycle of, so build and then, going to market together and then co-selling?
Well, on the build side, with typically the ISVs, that are out there, a lot of the ISVs are looking to build their own products either on or with Google Cloud technologies. And so you've got some of the more established players, and the SaaS providers, etc. But you've also got a real explosion in startups that are out there that are being very very well funded, as you can read, who are building out, whether they're building out models or they need hardware and compute capability, or they're building out applications. I'll give you an example. Internally, we launched the first AI-powered training programs about 2 months ago, where the AI tool provides the trainer, the trainee, direct feedback on the pitch that they give to talk about gives them professional feedback and content-based feedback. So there's applications like that where we're applying it in real life ourselves, but we're doing it with an ISV partner. And then you move forward to beyond the ISV network into the implementation partners. As I said, early on we were, I think, 150,000 people being trained up to worldwide in our partner ecosystem to help our and their customers implement projects and prototypes. And we've gone way beyond the MVP now. I mean, the MVP was last year. Some customers are still very much at that stage, but we're way beyond that now. And in fact, I was with a telco company up in Canada not so long ago, where they have a rule: they won't start an MVP now if they don't believe it will go into production in the AI space, because otherwise they could do 1,000 MVPs.
Yeah. Wow. And then how about going to market together with partners? How should partners think about how they can work with Google to build something, some incredible application or a new LLM, working well with the Google teams to create it, and then how do they then go to market together with Google?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in the midst of a fairly kind of industry-wide, multiple years long sort of shift from sort of reselling, to more kind of partner-led engagements with our customers. It's a pretty rapid shift in AI. It's pretty much the same. So I think that AI represents sort of the one of the biggest, if not fastest moving, and probably most lucrative opportunities for the partners to do that pivot and move to that kind of value-led, partner-led model. We have a set of partners that everyone, they either co-sell with them or they sell on their own, and with our customers. But most of the things that my team get involved in, we're side by side. So either we will bring in a partner or they will bring us in, because we're fairly small, niche, technical capability that will complement their much larger ambitions with the customer. That's kind of the way we work.
Yeah. And so and where are you seeing the difference, solutions and ideas coming from with partners? Are they coming from, is it just sort of pure demand from customers? Are you seeing it come from partners with a really cool idea and it fits something that a customer has? Where do the ideas come from?
I'd say we've evolved. If you go back to the middle of last year, a lot of it was kind of, what's my cool idea? And I remember we ran a customer event out in California last year, back in 3/4 of the way through last year, and we had a lot of partners there, and a lot of the ideas and stories were things that they kind of invented and thought would be good ideas. Now I'd say, I don't really see that. What I see is things where we're co-collaborating with partners, with customers, with real life, stories, use cases that we're trying to work on. I think you've obviously still got the AI startup community, and that that's a lot more speculative potentially, where they're building applications and new capabilities, and they're building a market that maybe didn't exist. That AI training one I talked about, I mean, that's a market that didn't exist until now. So they're creating new markets, new opportunities, new innovation. The other thing we're doing is a lot of collaboration and innovation workshops with customers. So we have a real heritage of doing EBCs, executive business briefings and meetings in our dedicated centers. We have a team we call the Delta team in our organization that helps the customers and our partners collaborate through an innovation agenda, and really think about how can they exploit the new opportunities for themselves, whether new markets or new capabilities of their existing markets. And that then leads into MVPs, prototypes, and production. So I'd say the answer is all of the above, but the trend has definitely been more towards solving real life problems with customers.
Yeah, I love that.
And then the trends in there, you start, realistically, a lot of it's been around customer service in all its forms, whether it's call center or kind of website interactions, chatbots, etc. And then you look internally, so using Gen AI for development and working alongside developers and building out advisory services internally. It's knowledge management. So internally within Google Cloud Consulting, we have a tool that we use to help kind of my own team get solutions and answers to problems that are buried in probably thousands of trip report documents over the years. That's the sort of the next trend. And then obviously we then move into the more generative aspects around, marketing and content and image and all those things. And the real game changer for us was when we launched Gemini. Gemini is the only pure multimodal model out there. And so if you haven't used it, on your phone, you pick up your Pixel phone or use the Google apps, and you can query and do all sorts of things with image and voice and video that you could never do before. And that's opening up brand new actions. So I'll give you one example with a well-known organization you might choose to have a temporary rental with. People would normally put their property for sale or for rental, and they do it themselves. And it's like, this is kind of, I've got 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and it's not very descriptive. It's not very good. Imagine you could just go and take a video of your property, and AI automatically produces a really high quality search engineering optimization optimized description, takes still shots of the property in the right light, enhances them, and then allows you to go in and say, yep, that's good. I mean, that's a use case of multimodal AI that you could never have done before this technology existed. It would just have taken billions of lines of code,
Yeah. Amazing. That is really cool. It's just the use cases are endless.
Yeah. Oh no, they're as creative as you want to be in this space.
Yeah.
And I think that's back to the partner thing. That's what's really, I think, bringing a lot of energy to the collaboration we have with partners, because they no longer are you kind of everyone's going after the same space. There's genuinely new white space in every single organization to do things that they could not have done before with their products and their services.
Yeah. It's just really, really incredible, and the speed of change is breathtaking. Yeah.
Been a ride.
Yeah.
Well,
how have you sort of professionally? How have you? Tell us a little bit about sort of your transition. It's been 3 years now, but from your time at Accenture and working with clients and in developing solutions and having teams of people going through digital transformation, now being kind of on a different side, right? With the cloud provider, and you're still in sort of a consulting role. So tell me a little bit about how that transition has taken place.
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I had an amazing 30-year career in Accenture. I loved every day I was there. Great people, great customers, and great journey. But I couldn't resist the chance to come to Google, knowing the AI wave was coming, and to sit in the middle of that ecosystem. And now I get to work with every single major partner we have out there, big and small, and see how they're all working with our customers, which is great. And but the key change, I'd say, things I say to everyone, we genuinely believe we can solve any problem in the world with technology, and that mindset that we have, an almost unbridled kind of ambition and capability is second to none. And because we're a technology company, not just a services company, the services part is a really small part of Google compared to the technology. It means that we're here to enable our customers to use the technology. It's a very different role. We're here to enable our partners to understand how to implement the technology or use it, and we're here to help our customers to understand it and use it. It's a very, very different role, which requires getting your head around a little bit. We're not historically grow revenues, grow margins, grow the business, add headcount, those kinds of things. That's not what we're about here. We're about helping our customers to learn, how to use our products, use our products, succeed, etc. As I said earlier, so that's been that was a mindset change, but frankly, after 30 years was a refreshing change. But the other thing is, the depth of technology. The one thing I've realized coming over here is that, the world, if anything, has become more technical than it was before. I studied computer science, in the late 80s, early 90s, and that computer science degree is not so useful anymore as some of the components that you need to do now. So I think, helping our partners to realize the depth of technical skills they needed to build and the investments they needed to put in place to build those skills and continue to build those skills. Because the other thing with this is, the half-life of a skill set is probably 18 months at the moment. Maybe less in some cases with the AI. So you've got to create a learning culture. You've got to continue to learn. You've got to continue to experiment and oftentimes pioneer. And that has been really, really exciting to get our partners working alongside us to do that. So, from that perspective, I'd say, deep technology, but also, a change in role has been really refreshing. And then I have amazing people. We have, I say, when we created the brand of Google Cloud Consulting a year or so ago, we said, every single individual that works for Google Cloud Consulting, when they leave or they're talking to an external party or whatever it is, I want people to kind of go, wow, because we really have the very, very best technical in the industry around Google Cloud platform, and that's how we make a difference. That's why we can distinguish ourselves from all of the partners, because we're not competing with them, we're supporting them, and we do that by having the very best technical and information skills associated with Google Cloud Platform. Clearly, we're very, very close with engineering, and we're very, very close with support. So our ability to have that proximity is just a different world. So it's been very interesting journey. And we got an amazing leader in Thomas Kurian, who's pretty public and very visionary and very driven. So I'm very happy with where I am.
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, I think, if you're a partner and you want to work with Google, your team has got to be their best friend. But they've got to make your team their best friend, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So Kevin Ishparani runs the partner team here, and he tells me regularly that we have this kind of the best relationship internally that he's ever seen in his probably equally 30+ year career between the partner enablement team and the services team, because oftentimes there's competition or even worse than that. Here I speak with Kevin all the time. We're collaborating all the time. We're devising programs. We just launched a few months ago a tool called Delivery Navigator. It's a methodological tool. It's open to all of our partners. I found out the other day we have over 200 partners that have signed up and are onboarded and are accessing our methods and our tooling. We have help desks and call centers they can call when they're in the middle of a project. We have partner success services. We have a portal that they can use. So we're building out all sorts of tools to help our partners, big and small, to do it. So I say, if you're out there and you're in the partner world and you're not jumping on the Google bandwagon, then my guess is you're missing out on some market share. I've even joked many a time that perhaps I should have started a Google partner rather than come to Google, because I really do believe this rocket ship of Google and Google AI is going to be transformational for the next decade or two.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's exciting. Wow, what a great opportunity, and exciting that you grabbed it.
It's been fun, and like I say, if you focus on the customer side of what we do and you bring this amazing technology, I started my career building stuff from scratch, and coding, and you get used to get your inspiration when you manage to compile a module and it worked, and you
crash
live with something, and you put like days and weeks of hours into building. And now you can see, there was a customer engineer was sat outside my office a couple of weeks ago, and I just said to him, "What are you doing?" And he'd written about 30 lines of code that spun up a whole bunch of infrastructure. It provided document management AI of checks would also recognize what was going on in checks. It would process that through and do a whole bunch of other stuff. And it was about 30 lines of code, which I reckon, and it'd taken him a day or two, I guess. It probably would have taken me 9 months, 12 months on a project to do that when I started out with a team of 10, 20 people. So the stuff you can do with our technology now is unbelievable, and the speed you can operate is unbelievable, and that's what's cool. You gotta stay current with your skills,
Yeah, amazing. Well, Lee, this has been fantastic. Maybe just I know you're very passionate about cycling, and I saw in your LinkedIn bio that you're on a mission to go to every U.S.
Park there,
national park.
Yeah.
How far along are you on that journey?
Well, we're doing pretty well on the national parks, actually. Yeah, we're people always say, "What's your favorite?" And I think for me, it's Glacier National Park was definitely the favorite. I was really inspired by the nature up there, and how remote things can truly be in this country. Hey, I come from a small country called England, and the inspiration was when I first got here. We went to Montana. The forest of Montana, and somebody told me that the forest of Montana is bigger than England. And when you realize the scale of these things, these places, and the thought that generations before us had to set these pieces of land aside to allow them to be what they are, it's just really, really beautiful. So yeah, love all of that, and definitely love cycling, and try to do something for charity every year. So this year I'm teaming up with a charity called Best Buddies and doing a few of their rides and races, and hoping to generate some cash for them. And last year I worked with the American Diabetes Association for their Tour de Cure California, where we raised a lot of money. So for anyone out there and all the partners, look out for the sponsorship requests coming through for the Best Buddies this year, so we can put that to good use. So I like to do a bit of that.
That's fantastic. Lee, this has been, this has been a great conversation. I really enjoyed chatting, and so many amazing things going on at Google these days. And thank you for taking the time and sharing everything with us.
No, thanks, Chip. Appreciate it, and good to chat.
Fantastic. So I think with that, we'll wrap up today. And again, thank you all for joining. For Lee Moore and Chip Rodgers, and we'll see you at the next Ecosystem Aces. Thanks, everybody.